Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. This is it.
This is Top Flight Time Machine. I am Andy Hotbody Dawson. Pow, pow, pow.
I'm Sam Nifty Delaney. So what?
Welcome along. It's the Friday morning episode that you will get if you're an IFS subscriber on Thursday evening. It's as simple as that. You all right, Sam?
I'm pretty good. I've been to the physio this morning and she had a word with me about my back, and she asked a lot of questions about the way in which I like to sit when I was working. She said, what sort of work do you do?
You don't look as if you're sitting very well right now.
I thought I'll see what Andy thinks about it. He probably sees me in my work position more than anyone.
Right now you're sitting leaning back in your office chair with your hands resting behind your head.
In the American style.
The word I think they use is ergonomic. It doesn't look very ergonomic.
Nah. But I said I was really honest. I went, look, you know, I don't
just rest.
I said I don't like to sit upright like a Tory. I said, that's not me, babe. That's not me.
Sit with my arms folded.
I said, that's not me, sugar. I'm a pretty cool, laid back and freewheeling kind of guy. She said, what do you do? I said, I'm a full-time podcaster. Yeah, that's right. You heard me right.
Yeah,
Honey pie.
Actually, my job.
Yeah,
not just a hobby.
And as you can imagine, I'm pretty cool, and I like to sit at work. What position do you sit in? I sit in the American style. I sit in the American style. And she went, what's that? And I said, well, that's a bit embarrassing. You're supposed to be a fucking professional. I would think you'd know what the American style of sitting is. But she didn't, so I walked out. Yeah, you get a lot of advice on sitting. People are always advising you on how to sit, how to stand. And in a way, it starts to irritate you, doesn't it? Everyone's got something to say about the way you sit, you stand. And it's all like this, that's wrong. No, that's wrong. That's wrong. You're not supposed to sit like that.
You get these fucking smartwatches, like this Apple Watch and that tells you to fucking move around and stuff.
Yeah, fuck
tells you
off.
You've been sitting down to fuck off.
Yeah.
I'm not being told what to do by fucking watch.
Yeah, exactly. What kind of fucking world is this? Do you know what I mean? That we're spending money on fucking robots to order us about. Fuck that.
I know what I like. I like to sit down.
I like to sit in the American style, mate.
In the American style. Your music is too loud and has been for over 7 days.
Good.
Yeah, to drown out the fucking sound of your fucking voice.
Yeah, you can.
Prick watch. It's good music. I like to hear it loud.
Yeah, exactly. I like to listen to loud music.
I listen to American music.
Bow, bow, bow.
Yeah.
Here's another thing that's just happened. I went to pick up my daughter. Well, I told you this off air that I went to pick up my daughter from school. It was a surprise. It was an unsolicited sort of a lift. I heard she had a detention, and I went, all right, fuck it, because I know she's fucking working really hard at the moment, A-levels. I thought, I'll go and get her. On the way back, right, we're driving along, having a little chat. I was ranting at her about how absurd it was that a fucking sixth former who's doing their A-levels should be given a fucking detention. I never got fucking detention when I was doing my A-levels. Fucking ridiculous. By that stage, you're self-policing. If you're late or you don't turn up, listen, that's your fucking lookout. It means you'll probably fail your exam.
If you're old enough to join the army, then you shouldn't be getting detention.
And listen to this, mate. You won't believe this shit, right? This fucking sums up. This is like why we have to get these cunts out of fucking Downing Street. Do you know what they make them do? She's 16 years old. She's doing her fucking A-levels, right? In detention, they make you, right, copy out a Bill quote over and over again.
Who?
Bill Gates.
Bill Gates?
Bill Gates, right?
The Jeffrey Epstein associate.
Oh my God, right? I'm trying to find the fucking quote, but it is so... I resent it because it's like... Because my son had to do it in year 7, and I resented it then because I thought, what are they trying to fucking teach these kids? Do you know what I mean? You're in a detention because for some trivial fucking misdemeanor, like you forgot your ruler, right? and they're going to send you along, waste an hour of your time after school, and they're going to make you copy out this trite, corny fucking bullshit about things like hard work, right? You know, it's the stuff of, honestly, it's the stuff of apprentice candidates, right? It's fucking, it's hair gel. It's fucking hair gel, crap suits, and fucking horrible old aftershave. Do you know what I mean? It's that sort of vibe, and it's a fucking school. I'm trying to find the fucking quote. It's some sort of 10 rules that he's done, and it's every one of them is cunty. And I'm like, fucking hell, she could be in the workplace. She could be in the she could have a job, right? She could have a kid. Yeah. She could have her own home. And they're making her sit after. Anyway, I was fucking.
Have they got to write out all 10 of these rules then that Bill Gates has come up with?
Oh, more than once, mate, as well. You got to do it for as long as the detention lasts. Where is it? Have energy. What?
God.
What do you mean fucking have energy? You can't just fucking conjure that out of your arse, you mad cunt. What if you haven't got energy that day? Have a bad influence. Or rock and roll, Bill Gates, prick. You don't need someone who tells you to do things that are harmful to yourself or others. However, you do need someone in your life who genuinely believes in you and pushes you to take chances in your professional life. You want a bad influence who will get you out of your rigidly conservative comfort zone and point you towards the risks that lead to success. Fuck off. Work hard. Create the future. I mean, half of this is fucking trite nonsense that means bullshit. Nothing. Enjoy what you do. Play bridge. What? Ask for advice. Pick good people. Don't procrastinate. Have a sense of humour. Fuck off. Anyway, I was ranting about this.
Good luck with that.
That's not the point of my story. I'm driving along and I said to her, isn't that your mate? I won't name the mate, but I went, isn't that your mate? In fact, isn't that two of your mates? And she just went, yeah. And I went, aren't you going to do anything? She went, what do you mean? And I said, what do you mean, what do I mean? You're driving along in a car, in the passenger seat, and there's two of your mates walking along as pedestrians near your home. Does that not make you want to wind down the window, shout something, throw something, right? And she was like, no. And I was like, what is the matter with you? So I fucking hung a sharp left to follow them because I was like, I know these mates. You can't fucking waste an opportunity like this. So she was like, freak out. What are you doing? These are good friends of hers. I'm not saying these are like associates who she'd be embarrassed in front of. These are like her best mates. I've wound down the fucking window. I've given them a couple of beeps. They haven't looked round. She said, they're going to think you're a creep. I said, yeah, but they will. But then when they look round, they'll see that it's me and I'm with you. And it'll be funny. No, it won't. Then we get into
Jesus Christ, Sam.
She was almost trying to grab my fucking hands off the wheel, right? So we had an argument. And in the end, I let it go. I drove off. And I said to her, she went, what's the matter with you? I said, there's nothing wrong with me. What's the matter with you? She went, what? I said, well, if I see a friend of mine in the street and I'm in the car and they're walking along, look at you, fucking pedestrian wanker, right? I said, I get tremendously excited, right? And she went, why? And I said, because it's just amazing, isn't it? I said, when you just see someone you know, but it's unexpected, it's always like really exciting. I said, but if you're in a car and they're not, it makes it even more exciting because you can do things, right? Like, a mate of mine from West Ham lives quite near me. And I seen him in the street and I shouted at him. He'd just dropped off his kid at school, primary school. And, you know, it was a school rush hour. This is like a year or two ago. So I've seen him and I'm like, it's just really exciting. It's just like, it's like, what's I compare it to? It's like, you know, like, I guess it's like if you get a Kit Kat and one of the fingers is solid chocolate. It's just a surprise. It's a nice little surprise, right? Yeah. So I fucking wound down the window, and as I drove past, I just shouted wanker at him, right? And and he just sort of clocked it was me and sort of like rolled his eyes. I thought, eye rolling cunt. Like, why aren't you laughing or shouting back? So I fucking see him at West Ham, and I go, hey, want a word with you? I fucking got you with a drive-by the other day and you just fucking rolled your eyes, right? And he went, yeah, well, you can't be doing that local. And I said, why not? He goes, well, it's not like we're at the football. He went, you know, there's other people with me, other mums. They don't know. We basically say they don't know I'm a cunt, right? And I was like, well, I mean, what would you have me do? And he said, the point is, it reflects badly. You don't care, but it reflects badly on me. So I said, are you trying to tell me that in your local area where you live, you are a man who is respected and you have certain standards to uphold? And he was basically saying, yeah. So, I mean, I just thought, right, now I'm going to find you. Like, that was just a coincidence. Now I'm going to fucking find you, and it's going to be worse than just a wanker, right?
Yeah.
So I found him the following week, and I shouted nonce at him, right?
Yeah.
Outside the school
ramp
gates.
it up a bit, yeah.
Yeah, because what is this? I've got a reputation.
He asked for it, basically.
I'm a local figure, a figure of note. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, mate. Don't fucking start all that stuff.
Community leader.
Yeah. Yeah. What are you? What do they call them? A local alderman or something?
Alderman.
Alderman. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
What even is that? I don't know. Right. But it's ridiculous. We're not fucking living in Trumpton. So I shouted nonsense.
Not yet.
And then he cottoned on to the fact that if he objected again, I'd ramp things up further. So that time he sort of laughed awkwardly, and I've left it since then. Yeah. I'm not saying you have to shout abuse, but I just feel as if you have to shout something. And she was like, don't get that at all. And I said, have you ever bumped into someone in the street, a relative? And she said, no. And I said, it's amazing when you do. Right. Years ago, when I was pretty young, I was a teenager, maybe a bit older, I was walking down the street in Soho and I saw my own fucking dad and my head practically spun off my fucking shoulders. It was the middle of the day. I don't know what he's up to. He'd probably been at one of them sex shops.
He's probably been up watching them mucky films.
He'd been watching them mucky films, and if he had, he would have got more than he bargained for because he'd seen a couple of his sons in it. Oh, what's this? Oh, no, I don't want to see this.
I'll stick with it, though. See if it gets good.
I want a refund for that mucky film I just paid for. No, sorry, love. No refunds. Look, can't you read? Yeah, but come on. My fucking sons were in it. Well, that's unfortunate, but, that's maybe you didn't raise them properly. Well, you're right. I didn't. I didn't imagine that they'd end up being in mucky films for a living.
Well, we could give you 50% off because they weren't the only ones in it. You've seen people in it who weren't your sons, so you're not getting the full refund.
They were the only men in it. Yeah, well, but the birds. You weren't related to any of the birds in it, were you? No, I wasn't.
Did you come to watch the men? Is that what you come for? Is that what you're
why didn't you just ignore them and focus on the birds?
I got distracted.
I tried to, believe me, but it's easier said than done. Anyway, I saw him up Soho, and I was just walking down Old Compton Street, and he was coming the other way, and I thought, that looks like my dad. And then I was like, it fucking is my dad. And it wasn't that weird, because it was quite near where he worked at the time, but it fucking, I felt a mixture of excitement, shock, a small amount of fear. It was amazing.
Guess it turned into a fight.
Yeah, as my dad, he might try to fight me.
Like the Lion King.
No, but it's weird as well if you bump into a relative in the street. Because if you see a relative in a normal environment, or a friend in a normal environment where you expect to see them, you're like, oh, hello, mate, blah, 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 normal. If you bump into them in a situation where you're not expecting it, it's improbable. It's like in a time and a place that you just don't expect to see someone. It can be very discombobulating. You know, like, what's his name? Derren Brown always says you just got to say something that's so completely out of the blue, or do something that's so completely out of the blue, it temporarily knocks someone's brain out of sync. And they become
spins it around a bit.
They become very suggestible in that moment.
Oh, okay.
Remember, I told you when I interviewed him, he told me about how some geezer was starting on him when he was in America. And he just went up to the guy and he went, and the guy was like giving it all this. what the hell are you looking at, buddy? Because there was a guy and he was arguing with his girlfriend and it looked like it was going to get violent. And Derren Brown was sort of keeping an eye on it. And the bloke...
I'm going to whoop your ass.
Yeah, it was all like that. He looked round and he saw Derren Brown looking at him and going, hey, what the hell are you looking at? This is none of your business, right? Mind your business.
None of your beeswax.
Yeah, exactly. You goddamn cotton-picking, limey asshole, right? Cocksucker. So Derren Brown thought, fuck, it's going to come on top here. What am I going to do? I'll have to use my magic, right? So he's gone to him. The guy's come over to him and he's just gone, no, the hedges around my garden are only about 2 foot high, waist height. And the guy goes, what? And he goes, they used to be a lot higher, but we've cut them down to give ourselves a better view out onto the street. And the guy went, huh? And he went, but at the end of the day, the council might make us grow them back again. And the guy went,
that's weird.
and then Derren Brown just put his hand on his shoulder and said, it's all right. Everything's going to be okay. And the geezer's just started fucking crying his eyes out and hugged him. And what I'm saying is...
There's a tip for you there.
I'm saying that you, in that moment of shock and confusion of seeing someone you know in the street where you're not expecting them, you're very suggestible. So, for instance, on the day that I bumped into my dad up Soho, if someone had come up to me at that exact moment, tapped me on the shoulder and said, lend us a tenner, I'd have said, there you go, keep it.
And they would have started crying.
Give us your watch. No, I would have cried and I'd have given them my watch. It's happened with my mum. I was running by the river once, saw my mum. That was amazing. Oh, by the way, I've got some... we'll get on to talking about the election, but...
we might do. We might not.
Well, we might do, but just so you know, my mum is sending me missives about the election, which I'm happy to share in our ongoing, like as if she's our political correspondent. This morning, it came at 9:21. She won't mind me reading this out. It just said, apropos of nothing, I got a text this morning. It just said, I can't watch that crazy, lying, Rishi imp anymore. And anyone who agrees with him and votes for him is an ignorant cunt.
Day one of 6 weeks.
Yeah. And what was it she sent yesterday? I couldn't stop laughing. Why didn't someone give the little cunt an umbrella? 5 exclamation marks. That was the only thing I got yesterday. But this is like a lot of people are kind of turning immediately to the Newsagents podcast or The Rest is Politics, all these political podcasts. For me, it's just, I think I just need messages from my mum throughout this campaign.
Jalapeño.
Here's a brief but annoying message to let you know that you wouldn't be hearing this brief but annoying message if you were a subscriber to our Iron Filing Society Patreon offering.
For the price of a pint and a St. Clement's each month, you can get up to 4 episodes a week, 9 months before the rest of the world gets them. Early access to regular episodes, lots of other marvellous benefits, and there's absolutely no adverts or brief but annoying messages like this that will get right on your tits.
Find out more and subscribe now at tftimemachine.com/ironfilings.
Jalapeño. Jalapeño.
Well, we should maybe start a spin-off podcast called The Election Section.
I had another name for it, right? Because I thought it's about politics, but we're a bit more light. So I was thinking instead of general election, we could call it genital erection.
Yeah, that's good. Let's see what you've done there. You've kind of done what I did, but about 3 steps forward.
What I like about it is it's extremely witty.
Yeah.
And if there's one thing we're known for, it's our wit, you see.
It's one of the things.
Yeah.
Well, I'll put that on the list. We'll have a think about it. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we won't. Yeah.
What did you get excited yesterday, Andy, when it suddenly started to become apparent that he was
did a little bit. I thought, thank fuck it's going to happen, because there's been all this speculation.
Yeah.
He was on Loose Women last week saying to the girls on there, it's all right, book your holidays, don't worry.
The cunt.
And he's fucking turned around and done it a week later.
What a cunt.
So he said
he doesn't give a fuck, because he probably, say if he's got something say he's gone on a TUI holiday, right? You usually have to put down a 10% deposit minimum, right? And then 6 weeks before, you usually have to pay the balance, yeah? If he's done that, it makes no difference to him, does it? He'll say, fuck it. He's saying to that, his fucking wife is like even more minted than he is. They'll be like, she's like, you silly cunt. We've already paid the fucking money to TUI for that fucking all-inclusive.
What, do you think people are going to cancel our holiday because of the election?
No, his election, his holiday. If he's booked, if his wife's already said, look, I fucking booked us 2 weeks in the Algarve with TUI, all-inclusive. And he's gone, well, there's no way we can go now. I can't be in the fucking Algarve sunning myself when there's an election to fight. And she's going, well, we're going to have to cancel it and we're going to lose the deposit. And he'll probably go, fuck it, I don't give a shit.
I think based on the last 24 hours, the best thing he could probably do is go on holiday for at least 3 weeks during the campaign, because, fuck me, he's a liability already. He's been to Wales and said to them all, are you looking forward to the football then? And Wales aren't even in the Euros.
I know.
So that's gaff number one.
Sorry, I meant the rugby.
It reminds me of that fella who was the Scottish, the SNP leader until recently, when he had a meeting with a bunch of Ukrainian refugee women, and he kind of walked into the room and went, hey, where's all the guys then?
It's quite Prince Philip vibes. And I miss Prince Philip now he's gone, because he used to provide us with shit like that non-stop. So the politicians are stepping into the void.
Yeah. So I was pleased that he'd fucking done it, and it's going to be done with. I'm pleased they've picked the election day when there's no football on during the Euros. That was clever.
That's good, yeah.
It's the day before the quarterfinals start. Don't know if England will still be involved or not, but I think for Rishi Sunak, this is going to be 6 weeks that might ultimately psychologically break him, because he's like, he pretends he knows how to do contactless payments and how to put petrol in a car, and he doesn't.
Yeah.
And he gets found out every time. And he's done this thing today with talking about football with the Welsh. And it's going to be gaff after gaff after gaff relentlessly for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
It's going to make Theresa May's 2017 campaign, which was to be fucking shambolic, as being kind about it, and she still fucking won. It's going to make that look like a Blair in 97. He's going to be a fucking romp, disaster.
A seamless romp of political
Hitler
acumen.
In 33.
Yeah. It's looks pretty bleak for him, but I don't know about you, like, you know, in 97, even though everything pointed towards a Labour win, right up until, I remember vividly the moment they, like, I think it was Dimbleby, and they go, right, the exit poll's coming in, and there's a big fucking screen, isn't there? And then they go,
who'd you fancy?
I go, let's have a fucking pipe at this then, shall we, you cunts? And then it goes, bang! And it was a big picture of Tony Blair, and I was a student, and we're all sitting in our horrible little student house, and we're going, hey! Because, you know, like, we'd grown up, I mean, we had no memory of a Labour government at that age. Yeah. No memory whatsoever, right? She'd come in when we were, like, when I was 4. And we couldn't fucking believe it. But even, I stayed up all night, because even then, you couldn't allow yourself to believe it. It's like, if you're winning, if your team are winning, and it's like, well, West Ham went 2-0 up in the FA Cup final in 2006. I was there in Cardiff. And it's 2-0, and people are going mad. We're 2-0 up against Liverpool. But you don't allow yourself to think it's real. And that's that. And I was right on that occasion. It wasn't. We lost. And that's how I felt about that. And it's the same now. You just sort of think, you can't quite believe that they're going to be out.
But at the same time, we can't be complacent either.
Yeah, true.
I don't think anyone can assume it's going to be like 97 and there'll be like a huge Labour majority.
Well, there's a much bigger swing required. I mean, in 92, Labour had done all right. It wasn't like there was a fucking 100-seat majority there to overturn or anything like that. They were still in it. Whereas, like, in the last election, when Jeremy Corbyn was leader of the Labour Party, that was like Labour's worst result ever, wasn't it?
were since 1933, and it was an 80-seat majority for the Tories. That's been whittled down to
Through
about
by-elections.
45. They've almost halved it in
Wow.
4.5 years.
Fucking
Tories have won one by-election in that
That's
period.
amazing.
So the direction of travel is heading in the direction that, let's
Yeah.
be frank, you and I both want.
Yeah.
We're going to nail our Labour
Oh,
colours
yeah,
to the
absolutely
mast
right.
now.
Yeah. I get you, but the thing is, I don't know, like, you saw that last night in a state of, I was hugely excited. I have got a lot of work on at the moment I'm trying to do and try and finish my book, but it was like all bets are off. It came on the radio, I got straight home, I changed immediately into my pyjamas.
Election pyjamas.
This was at 5 o'clock because I thought I have to just now be in front of the telly and I'm not going to have time to get changed later. And I just fucking stuck the box on and I was glued to it. And then I'm looking at Twitter and a lot of it's funny. I don't know what you thought about Twitter, but, I know back in the day you were a big noise on Twitter. And my favourite memory, I think, is 2010 election when Twitter was still fairly young. And it was when the coalition happened.
Yeah.
And I remember that was the first time I thought, fucking hell, this is such a laugh. And it was so funny. And actually last night felt a bit like that. There was there was some funny things on there and there was a sense of kind of collective excitement and madness about it. What
Everyone
did you
got
think?
very giddy
Yeah.
yesterday, I think. Yeah.
But there was some shit flying around. So I try not to say too much on social media that's going to be in any way controversial anymore because
Me too.
Who fucking needs it? But in a state of excitement, I wrote a couple of things that were like, yeah, great, let's get these cunts out, whatever. And you get the problem if you express those opinions now is that they'll come at you from two angles. One is obviously there's some unreconstructed sort of Tories or right wingers or people who go, they're all the same as each other. Fucking Labour. I remember. Oh, you might not remember. I'm old enough to remember what it was like in the last Labour government, right? And you're like, are you talking about the one in the 70s when there was a 3-day week? Although that was under Heath anyway. Are you talking about the Winter of Discontent one? Or the one that went on for fucking 13 years and showed a relentless economic growth, kids off the poverty line, and loads of fucking new schools and hospitals? Which one are you talking about, right?
It's like saying, I remember that Derby County team that won the league twice in the 70s.
Yeah, exactly.
They were all right.
It's like, what are you talking about? But anyway, you get them, and then you get the lefties going, might as well vote for the Tories and no fucking difference anyway. Although they don't talk like that. They go, you might as well vote for the Tories, no difference anyway. So you get lectured and hectored by both sides. So, and that's people's prerogative, I guess. I'm not expecting everyone to agree with me, but I do think I'll step away from saying much other than on this podcast because people get outraged by the fact that you have a different opinion to them. And it's sort of like, well, that's democracy. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's a good thing. You've got your opinion because you interpret events differently or you have different priorities. So you'll get a lot of lefties whose priority it is for whoever's our government to involve themselves in foreign wars. That's their number one thing, right? And that's fine because that's that's what they believe to be the most important thing. But you might have a priority that's different. You might think, well, child poverty is more important or education's more important or whatever. And that's fine. And then basically everyone's got different priorities and different opinions and then you vote. But
I always think the word party is pretty important because like when you go to a party, there's going to be some people there who are cunts who you don't agree with. And loads of people who you do agree with and get along with. And that's the same with the political party.
Yeah.
You've got a few cunts hanging around on the fringes, but mostly everyone's all right.
Everyone's more or less pulling in the same direction. And, I think what it is, but I can't speak too badly of them because I feel that I used to be like, I remember in the 2015 election, it was like the last few weeks of my drinking. It probably played some small part in me deciding this has got to stop. Because that was the time where I actually tried to arrange a meet-up and a physical fight with someone. And it's like, and I was like, what the fuck what's going on here? This is madness. And so I do think that I've been guilty of this myself in the past, but I like to think I'm not anymore, because you just sort of think, I can sort of be offended or upset, I guess, by your opinions, but at the same time, it's like, obviously we're going to have different opinions. Like, it can't make you angry that someone has that doesn't share the exact same set of beliefs as you. Why is,
Yeah.
Sorry, that
Yeah,
sounds a bit irritatingly reasonable.
It's social media. I mean, a friend of mine did a post yesterday, and she just did a thing on Insta Stories. All workers ground to a stop when the election was announced. In the words of Profanity Swan, "Bye bye, dog fuckers." And I thought, oh, that's not the kind of thing that I would probably tweet now.
Yeah. Oh, it was
But it's
an
the sort
old
of thing
thing,
that I would've
and it was a
tweeted
little
quite a lot.
glimpse at your past.
Back then. Yeah, a little flashback there. I did describe the Tories as rancid cunts last night, to be fair. So.
Sometimes it's
But
hard to resist doing that.
I was overexcited, I think,
Yeah.
like you. But we will be across the
We're going to be
election
across
over
it.
the next 6
But
weeks.
yeah, I suppose as well, like, if you want our take on it, and why wouldn't you, it's going to be the best take there is.
Yeah.
You'll only get it right here. You'll only get it on Top Flight Time Machine. I don't know about, I can't speak for you, but I'm going to be trying my hardest to stay out of the social media debate.
Well,
dialogue.
look, we will try and do something called the election section.
Yeah.
So I like it.
Yeah.
But there we have stuck our flag in it now. Nobody else on social media seems to have used that yet, so we'll claim that.
Not the
here and now.
genital erection, then. That's you.
No, we're not going to go with that. I don't think Apple would allow that as a title.
I'll just write that on a T-shirt in pen.
Just on a pad. Just write it down in front of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why this is just coming to my head, but I'm thinking I might just dress only in a Union Jack top hat for the whole of this campaign when I'm out and about on the street. I don't know why.
Like Ken Bailey.
Yeah, it's sort of like people can just do strange things during elections, can't they? It's sort of like...
Well, there's have you seen the Monster Raven Looney Party leader who's always at the by-elections? He looks like Boss Hogg from the Dukes of Hazzard.
Legend. Yeah.
He's good.
He's fucking great. They're a great party. I remember when they said they wanted to put Parliament on wheels so it could go around to different cities, which make it... And I thought, it's not a bad idea. I mean, it's impractical, but the principle's good. You should take democracy out around the country.
I do object to Count Binface.
Do you?
Have you seen him? Because
Yeah,
he's
I
not
know
the
who he is.
original. There was an original Count Binface in the 1980s. I think he stood against Thatcher in 83. And some fuckers brought it back, but he's brought it back with just a big bag of lukewarm humour.
Oh, okay.
And it's not very good. It's all a bit twee. So I'd rather have Boss Hogg.
They're the original disruptive sort of force in British politics, weren't they? The Monster Raven Loonies, and
they were
I'm
fun.
right behind them.
Yeah. So yeah, we might do some mini episodes about the election as it goes along. Just drop in
I
and
think
do
we should.
15, 20 minutes.
Don't worry, we won't be lecturing you about our own politics on them. Maybe we will. I just don't know.
No,
I don't know
probably
why I'm
will.
making that
Probably
promise.
will, actually.
I don't know why I'm making that promise.
Yeah.
But we'll have fun, and it'll be interesting.
All right, we'll leave it there. I think I just need to say that we shouldn't be winding down our windows and catcalling teenage girls. I don't think.
I wasn't fucking catcalling. That wasn't the
But
point.
I know, but they exist in a culture where catcalling happens. You and your fucking nonce mate you were shouting at out the window.
Yeah.
You don't expect that kind of thing when you
I
walk
have to say
down the
he's not
street.
actually a nonce. That was just my joke.
No, I know that. I know
No,
that. I've
I
gone
see
too
what
far
you
there,
mean.
see?
You shouldn't shout
I've
teenage
got
girls,
caught
but
up in
I wasn't gonna. I just wanted my
No.
daughter to, because I think you miss. I said you've missed. All I said to her was we made it out, and she was laughing. But I said, look, all I think is that you've missed a wonderful opportunity.
Yeah.
It's not often you see your friends in the wild. When
Yeah.
you do, especially in your car, it's almost like you're duty bound to shout at them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I wasn't
No,
about to
I
shout,
don't see it.
"Whoa, sweetheart." Of course not. I wanted to.
No, you weren't. But the whole beeping of the horn,
Yeah.
itself, it's caught up
Yeah.
in that whole thing. So
Yeah.
let's
It was
not
wrong.
do it.
It was wrong, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. All right. Yeah, you've made me think about that now. I got excited, just like I had about the election. No
It's
harm was
election.
done, but
Yeah,
I would. If that happens again, I will think twice. But I hope that my daughter has learnt something. That's if there's some good to come out of this. I hope
Right.
that in future she will. All we want for any of our kids is for them to make the most of the opportunities life gives them, Andy. You know?
I'm pretty sure she's learned something, about you.
I'd like to
think
say that
what
she'd
we-
learned
what
something
we- what
new,
we've
but I
learned-
think she'd already drawn her conclusions and this did nothing to challenge them.
I think what we've learned is, Sam, that you've had a very, very stimulating 24 hours. And
I ought to have a lie down.
maybe, just go for a stroll or something like that.
Yeah, you're right. I'll walk the dog. She
Walk
needs
it off.
walking anyway. Yeah.
Right, thanks for listening, everyone. We'll be back, fuck knows, whenever. Enjoy your weekend. That's that.
That's that.